Good morning and welcome to the Stock Planner channel. Yesterday was not a good day for a lot of people. It was a good day for me because my portfolio was overall downtrend. I had a downward bias. And it looks pretty good for me today again. We'll see. Were you crying yesterday? This morning I'm going to go over some stock trades that I'm planning out for today. Let's see how the market went yesterday. I'm going to have a look and try to answer a question on how I use the ZigZAg indicator in my trading. There's a lot to do. Let's get started. But before we do, I want to remind everybody that we're not a channel that offers buy and sell signals. We're not offering advice. We want you to do your own due diligence, make your own decisions, and win. So we're sharing our ideas, and that is all. This is an education channel. Once you engage and start sharing your ideas, your trading will get better. Mine did. Ever since I started this YouTube channel, my trading has vastly improved. I've slowed down. So let's get started. Let's stop all this crying. FinViz, free tool. I'd like to start my day. That's the way the day went. Down, down, down. And only 1.5%, 1%. By the way, FinViz is a free tool. It has a lot of ads, but you can live with the ads. It has a lot of information, but look at this red. Everything pretty much red. Facebook wasn't, but the market was red. There's financials. I think financials is going to be down again today. And this is the 1 week and the 1 month. This is TradingView, and we're looking at the SPY in the daily time frame. And this is the ZigZag indicator. I'll try to pick some valleys. Right now, the ZigZag does know what it's doing, and it's trending. And as long as this goes down, this ZigZag will print this line here. This is a major lines, and these are the minor zigzag lines. So if you could predict these long trends or the switches, then the zigzag does it perfectly. You could win some serious bank. But the zigzag looks to the future. It waits sometimes, and I'll show you a couple examples in just a few minutes. It waits to know what it's doing. Right now it knows what it's doing, and that's a downward trend. But I use other indicators. I use the ZigZag to visually see, and then try to use other indicators. Here's the MACD. Here's the RSI, stochastic RSI, and this is the RSI. And when they all occur right here, then I can predict a major trend. And right now, if I was sitting here without all this stuff out here, the ZigZag wouldn't know what it's doing. So I don't use the ZigZag to trade other than visually. And I use it to set my other indicators. And right now, where we're sitting today for the SPY, the RSI is pointing down, the stochastic RSI is pointing down, and the MACD is pointing down. And I think it's going to come down to around 400, down below here somewhere. As we can see, all the indices this morning are trading in the negative. NASDAQ, downward trend. RUT, right here, the ZigZag doesn't know what it's doing. So you can't trade with the ZigZag, but you can use these other indicators to do it. And it's pointing down, pointing down, pointing down. When the ZigZag doesn't know what it's doing, I look for some reversals. It doesn't know what it's doing, and there was a reversal there. It still doesn't know what it's doing, and we get a reversal there. I look for when the ZigZag doesn't know what it's doing, like now. Downward trend, and there's your S&P 500, downward trend. Should look like the SPY. Investing.com has some easy to read articles there. European stocks look down. Inflation data is being eyed in America. This analyst is predicting the stock market fall for the year. I'm predicting at least to the 18th of October. Well, the job of a swing trader, that's what we are, is to pick and find these major swings. And this is a ZigZag. It's perfect, like I say, but it looks to the future to paint these blue lines and the red lines. So you need other indicators to predict that. Right now, the ZigZag does know what it's doing. You can imagine that this will continue down. Our other indicators are pointing down, down, down. This is the RSI. You have to wait till it comes back around. And so is this stochastic. You wait for it to come back around and point up. It's going to be some time. You could set an alert for this, but for the next 2 weeks, I think this is going to be a down market. And not terrible down, 10% correction. That's not that serious. Anyway, this is a major regime change. You wouldn't know this. All you would know is at some point in time here, the ZigZag would know what it's doing. And that's when you would go to kind of look. Here is the MACD, stochastics, and the RSI. And they all occurred within 2 or 3 days of each other. When that happens, we get a buy signal. I do this in TradingView visually. I go down a watch list. This is my FANG watch list. It has a few extra stocks in it, and I look for when ZigZag doesn't know what it's doing, like right here. Man, it knew what it's doing right here, but right here, ZigZag doesn't know what it's doing, and it looks like it might go down, but we don't know that. Okay, and so what I do is I use the major Zig and set my Fibonacci's, and then I ask myself, will it go up here or here before first? And I think it's going to come down here first. Little pullback. The next condition is I look for the MACD. MACD is at the 0 line, and we would like it to take a long, we want it to be below, and take a short, we want it to be above. So the MACD is not telling us anything, but the stochastic RSI is. It's in the overbought, come back around. This is 80, come past this 80, and that's signaling a sell. And so is the RSI signaling a sell. The MACD is not telling us anything. It's at the 0 line. So our indicators, two of the indicators that we use, the RSI and the stochastic RSI, are indicating a short. Does anybody else see a short here? Let's go down our list and see if we see ZigZag. Microsoft is knowing what it's doing. Apple. ZigZag does not know what it's doing. Consolidating here. Will it go up or down? So what I do is I draw my fib. I'm using a tool, and I draw the fib from using the last print of my ZigZag. That's the other way I use my ZigZag. And I have the settings set up for all these indicators, including the ZigZag, in the comments in the description below. There's a video on how to set this up. Anyway, is it going to get here or here first? I think it's coming down here. ZigZag knew what it was doing. Now it doesn't. That would indicate to go up. Looking for an up. There is the MACD. See, it's pointing up. But the stochastic RSI is pointing down. And the RSI is pointing down. We've got mixed signals here and consolidation. So some indecision. Are you ready to make a decision on Apple? Are you ready to buy in this condition where the market and the techs are down? Are you ready to short Apple? I'm not so sure about that either. So what I would do is I would wait for Apple and see what happens. And if it does come down here or here, it sounds like a buying opportunity for Apple for me. But I'm not willing to short Apple. There's plenty of other stocks to short if this is going to be a down week and down month. So a swing trader, you would have a watch list of 20 or 30 stocks. You could easily go down through this list quickly. Facebook knows what it's doing. It's down. Do you want to catch the trend? Or you want to wait for a regime change? When ZigZag doesn't know what it's doing, that's the time that you might have a switch. ZigZag doesn't know what it's doing. Looked like it was a switch here. Downward slide. It still doesn't know what it's doing. Is it going to go down? MACD, stochastics, and the RSI all say it's going down a little further. So the question was, how do I use the ZigZag to trade? Well, I don't. I use it to set up my other indicators to make my decisions. But I'm going to show you a watch list right at the moment that does, in fact, use the ZigZag as part of its algorithm to detect trades. In other words, it waits 2 bars after the ZigZag does not know what it's doing to kind of check these things out, check my other indicators out. So what I'm showing you here is I wait for the ZigZag to not know what it's doing, and then I check my other indicators. That's what this algorithm does, and that's what this watch list does. That's free on my Discord chat. Let me show you. This is the watch list for today. And what it does is it looks at the RSI, and when the ZigZag doesn't know what it's doing, and the RSI is below is 30, it gives you an indication. Likewise, if ZigZag doesn't know what it's doing, and the MACD has a signal, or the stochastic RSI has a signal, it indicates to go ahead and check that thing out. Well, the MACD also is when it's a trending stock. I also get a signal for that too, because I don't want to miss a trend, and MACD is a good indicator on a trending stock as well. The RSI is not. So my RSI is my go-to indicator when I'm looking for regime changes, and the MACD is looking for changes, pullbacks, maybe in a trending market, and likewise the stochastic does the same thing. Regime change for RSI. It looks like we're having some issues here. So I didn't look at these this morning, and I'm going to look at QQQ, Pepsi, Procter & Gamble, and EFA, and maybe KMB, Kimberly-Clark, for longs. And we're going to look at LXRX and CACI. Yesterday we looked at SoFi and APA for shorts. And we'll look at John Deere. Anyway, this is my Discord chat. It's free under Stock Planner. Put the watch list out there and some of my videos, and I answer some questions. It's not a place to hang out, but it is a good place for information exchange. All right, what do we see here? Procter & Gamble. We see some nice swings. And if you can catch that swing, right now the ZigZag knows what it's doing. And it says it's still going down. So the MACD is pointing down. This is not coming around yet. And the RSI is in its downward. And you want to wait till it comes back around like this. Likewise. And you want to see. But according to my algorithm, RSI is in a place where you might think about buying it. And the ZigZag is about to change. I think this is too early. So I'm waiting. This is NASDAQ setting the fibs. And you ask yourself, is it coming down here or going up here? And I think it's coming back down here. MACD, stochastic RSI, RSI. I use a ZigZag to set my fibs. And then I ask myself the questions. And then I look at my indicators. Now the job of a swing trader is to predict these swings. TradingView, which is a free charting package, and the paid version is only a little bit of money, but it has many different indicators that you could choose to help you predict those swings. And you just got to go down through it and play with it and back test it. But these are the three that I chose. And it's three that a lot of people use. This is an emerging market. Oh, this is like a submarine. Dive, dive, dive. RSI is below the 30, so that's an indication that, hey, might be time to look for a buy. But the ZigZag does what? It knows what it's doing yet. It might be time to wait. MACD is still pointing down, and stochastic RSI is still pointing down. The nice thing is you can set the RSI. You want to wait for it to come back around. So this emerging markets in this condition, in these next 2 weeks with market uncertainty, I think it's gonna go down. I do not think it's gonna do a mean reversal yet. I think we're in a trending market down for a little while to the 18th of October. Kimberly-Clark, toilet paper, long red candle. My algorithm says, hey, in the last few days, it's time to buy. That long red candle said, maybe you ought to wait, Dave. So even though I got buy signals, the market condition yesterday was very strong down. And so you have to use your instincts. But when a downward market like that is happening, that is not a time to buy. But let's take a look at the shorts. Drawing the fibs. Where is it going to go? Is it going down here or is it going up there? ZigZag doesn't know what it's doing. That's when I like to take some action. MACD saying down, down, down. RSI says down here and here. That's when the crossovers occurred. So that would have been right about here. As I said, my algorithm usually waits for a ZigZag change 2 bars. And that's about 2 bars. So that's when I'm getting a single today. So I wait. So in answer to that person's question again, how do I use the ZigZag? You can use it to trade. And some people wait 2 bars after the ZigZag doesn't know what it's doing, after a possible regime change. Wait 2 bars because it looks to the future, and you have to wait because you don't have the ability to look to the future. So you have to wait 2 bars to see if there's actually going to be a change occur, a regime change, and then possibly you could take a signal. Wait 2 bars after this. ZigZAg doesn't know what it's doing. According to this, ZigZAg does know what it's doing, but this is the long red bar, ended up down. Another red bar. This ZigZAg will not know what it's doing. Stochastic RSI has not come back around, and RSI has not come back around, but it will. So a red bar today in pre-market. It's too early for the pre-market yet. But another down day will change all this. I do think this is a valid short. And John Deere. Drawing a fib from the last print. There's your support line. There's your resistance. Is that support? Will it hold? Or will it come down here further? There's your stochastic RSI. That's what the indicator we got here. ZigZAg doesn't know what it's doing. Stochastic says go down. RSI says go down. And the MACD is saying up. Mixed signals, but I think it's coming down. John Deere will be heavily affected by the infrastructure deal. That's a long red candle. So the last thing I want to look at is Caterpillar. And what I did yesterday, I was in a long trade. Let me explain it to you. There's my fibs, support resistance line, expanding it a bit. I thought I had a buy signal here to go up and took a long trade. But within a day, it gapped seriously down. And what people say is when you trade goes against you quickly, you should get out right then and there. But I had so much faith in it, in the infrastructure deal, that Caterpillar was going to do well based on the infrastructure. That's one of the reasons why I went into Caterpillar. The trade wasn't working out, but it actually did come back around. But yesterday, I still was losing. I think it was around 150 bucks. But yesterday looked like a down day, and the trade was still not in my favor. And so I got out of it at a loss of about 150 bucks. And I'm glad I did because I got out early and could have lost a lot more. Now, whether it goes down any further, I don't know. I do think it's going to get down to that level there. And if the infrastructure deal goes through, Caterpillar is going to be positively affected. Anyway, this is the trades. This is how I use ZigZAg. I use my other indicators. I went in a little more detail, but a lot of people are asking, and the setups are fairly simple. You can set this up free on TradingView and start trading right away with 1 or 2 stocks. Create your watch list, and then in a future video, I'll show you how to use a stock screener to scan your watch list, not the whole stock market, your watch list of the stocks that you know and love. Scan them for your RSI and your stochastic and your MACD, and look for these indicators and changes in these indicators using the scanner. Very, very neat. It's manual, simple, but your watch list is not going to be huge because you're a swing trader. You're only swinging a few stocks. You're in and out. Anyway, watch today. I think it's going to be a down day. And I think it's going to be a down month for October. Try not to lose all your money. Do some paper trading if you have to. Get out, get out in cash. Get out. There are going to be some bargains at the end of the month. Happy trading. Be careful out there. And like and subscribe this video. Like and subscribe. Need your help for the channel. Thank you.